Hey guys, in this video we're going to be checking out the new Foxeer Arrow cameras. I've got the Micro, the Mini, and the full-size Aero V3. They're all based on similar feature sets. They've got the voltage sensor with the OSD, so you can change your pilot name, get your flight time, and your battery voltage on the screen. In addition, all three of these have a new feature called preset settings, so you can have preset settings for like your color and your white balance, that kind of stuff. I'm going to actually go into that a little bit more detail in this video. This video is just going to cover this, size differences, stuff you get in the box, and the feature sets. We'll take a look at each camera individually. I'll have future videos where I'll actually show the video footage from each of these, because that's going to be kind of a complicated video to do comparisons of these against some of the other cameras. I might just do, for example, the Aero Micro against the RunCam Micro, something like that. I haven't decided yet, but this is just a sort of a preview video on all these three cameras. Okay, I'll take a look at the Aero V3 first. This is the full-size camera. It's the same size as the Swift, the Aero V2, HS1177. So what we got here is a 2.5mm lens. Metal case like on the V2, but you got your voltage sensor, your OSD audio, and also obviously your video and ground. I think this is exactly the same features as the V2, but this has the newer firmware with the preset settings for your video. Okay, so here's just a quick look at the manual for the Aero V3. Comes with the OSD board, obviously. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the same as the V2 with the exception of the presets. Okay, here are all the accessories. You got your bracket, of course, mounting bracket, and your screws. And in here you got your wiring loom with your pigtail for your OSD board, and of course you got your OSD board to change your settings. Alright, so next we're going to look at the Aero Mini. And here's just a quick look at the specs here. 650 TV line or 600 TV line for color. You get your OSD for voltage, flight time, and pilot name, and your input voltage is 5 to 40 volts, so it's even increased even more. This one's blue. You got a 2.1mm lens, NTSC, and IR block. Okay, so here's what it looks like. This looks like similar in size to the RunCam Mini Swift. And we can see here we've got our voltage sensor here, but no audio. So it's got all the same features as the full-size Aero V3, but no audio. Okay, so here is a look at the manual. It looks like they got the manuals for both the Micro and the Mini. And here it shows the presets. This wasn't showing up in the Aero V3. So it might be a mistake, and I'll have to check the actual when we plug it in and transmit the video. But here you've got this thing called mode. I think those are the different video modes, and here you got the default, vivid, sunny, cloudy, and 2 user-defined ones. I don't remember seeing that in the other manual. But here is the rest of the manual here. I think the Micro is going to be the same. Okay, so here is the bag for the bracket, mounting bracket, and you got your screws. And also here you got an OSD board along with the wiring loom. This one obviously is going to be a little bit different. It fits the Aero Mini only. Okay, and lastly we'll take a look at the Aero Micro. And very similar specs here. 5 to 40 volts. 2.1mm lens. I think it's all the same as on the Mini. But obviously this is going to be even smaller. And I think, yeah, this is the same manual that's in with the Mini. You can see the different modes here for your presets. But this box looks like the same size box that the RunCam Micro Swift came in. But I think the big deal with the Micro Aero is that this one has voltage sensing capabilities. So let me get this into focus here. You can see you got your voltage sensor pin right there, and you got your OSD, obviously, video, ground, and power. Again, no audio, so it does have the voltage sensor but no audio, and very similar design with the way this M8 lens is mounted. This is an M8 lens, not M12. but it's 2.1 millimeters. So I'll have to check the field of view. I'll compare this. Well, actually, I'll take a look at this and also the Mini and compare the micro against the RunCam micro and the RunCam Mini against the Aero Mini. Okay, and here's another difference that the Micro Aero has. It comes with its own OSD board. The RunCam Micro Swift did not come with an OSD board. You have to use the OSD joystick from one of your other cameras. If you didn't have that, then you're out of luck. It didn't come with that, but the OSD board comes with the Aero Micro. That's pretty cool. You get, of course, all your wires and stuff and a voltage sensor as well. Okay, so here's a little side-by-side look of the RunCam Micro Swift next to the Foxeer Arrow Micro Aero. And you can see that the lens is a little bit shorter on the Micro Swift. Very similar in design. And here's a look at the back. And I believe they're the same size. I'm going to measure this to be sure. Okay, so for mounting purposes, where the screw holes are on the side, it's 19.2 millimeters on the Aero Micro. And on the Swift Micro, it's 18.9, so a little bit off, but I think that anything that is going to be using this for mounting should work on the Aero Micro. Okay, so here's a look at the Mini Aero next to the Mini Swift. Again, you can see, I'm pretty sure that the mountings are going to be the same. We'll measure again here shortly. Here's the back, obviously. They both have OSDs and wider voltage range on the Mini Aero. It goes to 40 volts, 36 volts on the Mini Swift. And also you get the voltage sensor on the Mini Aero. So the Mini Aero comes in at about 22 millimeters across for mounting. And the Mini Swift is a little bit wider at 22.5 millimeters. And another thing that I noticed is different is that the Mini Swift has the 2.5 millimeter lens and the Mini Aero has a 2.1 millimeter lens. So you can see that the lenses look a little bit different. So I think we're going to have a little bit different field of view for these, but we'll check that out. Hook this up to a video transmitter and see what this video looks like. Okay, I'm going to first hook up the Foxeer Arrow V3 to the my video transmitter here. I'm going to look at the settings. I think that I was probably mistaken here. If you go into the main menu here for the OSD, there should be a thing called mode for the different presets, and I think that that's only on the Mini Aero and on the Micro Aero, not on the Aero V3. I for some reason thought it was on the Aero V3, but it's apparently is not there. So it's just the same as the Aero V2. You got your pilot name, time, power. I'm going to leave all that default here. And even though I don't have the voltage sensor actually connected, it is able to detect that I have a 3S battery connected. I think that it defaults to the main power voltage lead instead of the voltage sensor lead, and if it's not connected, so you still get a voltage reading regardless. So I think that if you've got your video transmitter connected directly to LiPo voltage, then you don't need the video or the voltage sense pin connected. But if you got your camera connected to a PDB, like a 12 volt regulator, then obviously this voltage is going to be wrong, and that's when you connect the voltage sensor line directly to the LiPo voltage, and that'll give you a correct reading. So we're going to take a quick look at the field of view, and normally I look at my window here and the bottom and the right, and then see how far left I can go. And you can see about the left side of that other window on the other corner. And now we'll see what the field of view looks like for the Mini Aero and the Micro Aero compared to this. It looks like I can see the bottom of the window here and just above the top of the clock as well. So it's a pretty nice field of view. Okay, I'm about to hook up the Mini Aero here, and I'm noticing a couple things that are kind of weird. The pigtail on here is different than the one that's on the Aero V3, so they might change the style. So the pigtail on the OSD here is the opposite of the one on the Aero V3. And this is the one on the Aero V3 here, and you see it's reversed. I thought that was kind of odd that they did that. And then on the wiring loom for the mini Aero, plugs in here, and then you got this other connector here. I don't know what that goes to, and then you got a bunch of wires here that go somewhere else, probably to maybe to a video transmitter perhaps. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so I got the mini Aero connected now to a video transmitter. Because of the different wiring loom and setup, I have to connect this to a different video transmitter that does not have direct LiPo voltage to the camera. And since I don't have the voltage sensor connected, I'm getting a readout of 5.1 volts, which is what the video transmitter is sending to the camera, so this reading is correct. I'll just take a quick look at the field of view here. And you can see that it's a little bit wider than the Aero V3. Got the side of the window here, just going a little bit further left here and a little bit further up. So just, I would say maybe 5 degrees more than the Aero V3. And we'll take a look at the menus here. You can see here now that we have this mode that wasn't on the Aero V3. Okay, so we'll take a look at the OSD menu. Here we can change our name. This is a little bit different from the OSD menu on the Aero V3. Going to leave this alone. Exit. I'm not sure what ratio is exactly. Mode is our different settings for color. And so there's vivid, sunny, and cloudy. These are different presets that you can quickly go to depending upon the lighting conditions you have. And then you have user 1, user 2. I think user 1 and user 2 are currently set to default. So if we go in here, I'm not really sure how to adjust the settings for these. Basically they're customized color settings. I'll take a look at that a little bit later. You can change your font size here. 0 is the smallest, and then you can go bigger. Let's see how big 2 is. That's not much bigger, but this looks very strange. We'll go back to the default. Change your name or turn the name on and off. You got your time, and then you got your power level here. You can turn it off, on, or I guess L is for alarm voltage. So we'll go in here and you can set your battery low alarm voltage since it's currently set to 3.35, or you can increase it. Okay, so we'll take a look at the menu and the micro Aero. It should be pretty much the same as the mini Aero. So first I have to get into the OSD menu by long pressing the up button. I figured out that ratio has to do with the battery voltage. If the battery voltage is off from what it actually is, you can adjust it here, up or down. Mode here is really important. The default setting here is whatever it comes out of the factory as like the best settings from Foxeer. If you have it on the default settings, you can't go into the normal menu, the other menu where you can change all the individual settings like contrast and saturation, that kind of stuff, because there's a bunch of presets here. So there's the default from the factory, there's vivid, sunny, cloudy, and then there's 2 user-defined settings here. So if you're on the default setting here, and you exit out, you can't bring up the menu by pressing the center key. It doesn't come up to change your actual camera settings. So I have to go back into the OSD, and if we change that to say user 1 and then save, and if you press the center button, now this menu here, this is the actual camera settings menu. Now we can go in here and make our changes. So I'm going to set up the user 1 for this particular setting here. I'm going to change this to color for day and night, and under special I'm going to go into image adjust, and these are sort of some of the settings I like. And you can actually have 2 different presets here, say like for like daytime flying or nighttime flying, for example. And increase my sharpness, LCD. I'm going to turn digital noise reduction off. I'm going to turn the cam title off on this one. And then I'll go ahead and exit. And that should be saved as user defined or user definition 1 or user preset 1. If we go back in here, then I can go to user setting 2. You can see that user 2 now is the same as the default, but you can see that user 1 is now different. So you go back to one of these other ones here. You can see user 1 and user 2 should be different there. If I go to user 2 and exit and then go back into the menu, you can see that here I changed that from auto to color. It's back to auto. This is like this basically the factory settings here. So if I want to quickly go back to user settings 1, and if I go to user defined settings 2, go into the menu, you can see that it's back to the factory settings. And I can create a whole nother settings here for user 2 if I wanted to. So it's kind of cool that they have this new software in here. You can actually create some presets, 2 different ones for user defined, and they also have some factory defined ones like sunny, vivid, cloudy. So you can quickly change your camera settings on the go with your OSD board here instead of having to go through every menu item, which is kind of nice. Okay, so at this point I'm going to install these cameras into some quads, and I'll have some future videos. I think I'll have a video where I'll compare the Micro Arrow against the Micro Swift, do some side-by-side video, and then the Mini Arrow against the Mini Swift, and see how those compare as well. So stay tuned for those videos coming up in the future, and I'll talk to you guys later.